Welcome back. Today, we're diving into this explainer to tackle a really specific and honestly super frustrating body type that leaves so many of us confused. We're going to completely demystify a condition that you or someone you know might be dealing with right now and uncover the hidden dangers behind it. Let's get right into it. Okay, tell me if this sounds familiar. You've got relatively thin arms and legs. You might not even look overweight at all in a standard t-shirt from the front, but you struggle with stubborn excess fat sitting squarely right around your belly. It's a very specific, kind of stubborn disproportion. Well, this is pretty universally known as being skinny fat. It's exactly what it sounds like. You're thin in the chest and limbs, but you carry that weight primarily around your midsection. Now, according to the source material, this usually happens for a few key reasons. You might actually be pretty active. Maybe you walk around all day, but you've never intentionally built up your muscles. And your diet, it might just be a little bit off track. So here's our agenda for today. 1. The skinny fat trap. 2. Why you need muscles. 3. The right exercise. 4. The diet equation. And finally, 5. The 6-month commitment. All right, starting off with part 1, the skinny fat trap. Listen, the skinny fat body type is essentially a fast track to a medical crisis. When you don't have the muscle mass to support your frame, but you're carrying a heavy belly, the physical toll on your body is severe. Gravity is just constantly pulling on your lower back, which can cause intense sciatica. Over time, that unmanaged weight literally destroys your knees. And worse, that deep, visceral fat wrapping around your organs, it creates serious internal complications that affect your liver and your digestive tract. So this completely shifts the conversation from just vanity to absolutely vital, essential health. Which brings us to section 2, why you need muscles. We really need to bust a super common myth here. So many people think, hey, I don't need to build muscle. I'm not trying to be an Instagram model or a fitness influencer. But the reality is incredibly different. Building muscle is an absolute medical necessity. It's the exact tool your body uses to prevent debilitating back pain, to avoid joint collapse when you get older, and even to fight off things like diabetes. Think of your muscles as architectural scaffolding. Seriously, without strong muscles, your skeleton simply cannot hold itself up correctly. Your vertebrae, the bones in your spine, they start to shift. Your hip bones misalign. Even your feet can literally become flat. All of this structural failure leads to chronic, everyday joint pain. If you want a pain-free life, you absolutely must build that scaffolding. And muscles aren't just structural. They're basically your body's metabolic engines. The source clearly points out that healthy muscle mass literally eats up and burns off extra glucose in your body. So having larger, healthier muscles makes it significantly easier to burn off that sugar. That keeps your blood sugar levels perfectly normal and acts like a biological shield against diabetes. Moving on to section 3, the right way to exercise. Now, if you're already walking every day, that is fantastic. The source insists you should absolutely keep walking and doing your daily cardio. But here's the hard truth. Walking alone does not build that scaffolding we just talked about. To actually restructure a skinny fat body, you absolutely must add weight training to your routine. Cardio keeps you moving, for sure, but weight training is what changes your actual body composition. And hey, if you're intimidated by the gym, don't sweat it. The barrier to entry here is incredibly low. You can literally start right in your living room. You can use extra weights like dumbbells or just use your own body weight. Start with push-ups, sit-ups, basic routines. The source highly recommends seeking out some professional guidance or just following reliable instructional videos to make sure your form is correct. The more you learn, the better your results are going to be. And you know the best part? You really only need about 20 minutes a day. That's it. Just 15 to 20 minutes of focused daily weight training is enough to slowly grow that muscle mass, start reducing that localized belly fat, and dramatically improve your overall body proportions. All right, section 4, the diet equation. There are 4 super simple rules you need to follow to make this all work together. First, calories. You want a slight deficit. Nothing extreme here. Second, carbs. You just need to lower your carbohydrate intake a bit. Third, protein. You've got to raise your protein intake so you can actually feed those growing muscles. And fourth, produce. Commit to eating plenty of veggies and at least 2 seasonal fruits a day, like maybe an apple and orange. It's really all about just gaining awareness of what's actually on your plate. Let's zoom in on that first rule for just a second. The source really emphasizes a slight caloric deficit. You should never, ever go into some extreme starvation mode. By eating just a tiny bit less than your daily energy requirement, you force your body to look for energy somewhere else. And where does it look? directly at that stored belly fat. It uses the fat for fuel, while that high-protein diet builds up your brand new muscle. It is literally a perfect two-for-one physiological trade.
Finally, Section 5, the 6-month reality check.
6 months. That is the absolute minimum timeline required to see real, lasting physiological changes. You just can't do this for a month or two, see minimal results, and throw in the towel. Restructuring your bones, your metabolism, and your body fat takes time. You really need a steadfast 6-month commitment to these new weight training and diet habits. And here is a pretty stark warning straight from the source material. We live in an era of shortcuts, right? Weight loss injections like Ozempic, or those so-called magic herbal pills. Interestingly enough, the author of the source actually owns an herbal company and bluntly states that even his own products aren't magic. These shortcuts are completely temporary. If you don't change your fundamental habits, your lack of muscle will stay exactly the same, and that belly fat will absolutely return the very second you stop the medication. I want to end this explainer on an incredibly provocative thought from the source. Imagine you could take a magical shortcut and just lose 20 kilograms overnight. Ask yourself, what will you eat tomorrow? If your daily habits haven't changed, you're going to go right back to eating the exact same foods that made you skinny fat in the first place. And those 20 kilograms will just come right back. Health is a lifelong pursuit, not an overnight fix. Thanks for joining me today. Keep learning, keep building that scaffolding, and stay focused.